Donald Trump.
President Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
177 days of his presidency.
Trump's golf club.
Real Donald Trump.
Former President Trump.
President Trump shot a 73.
Donald Trump.
He cheats.
Whether it was his recent debate with Biden or his recent video with Bryson DeChambeau, you're likely left with the same question. How good is Donald Trump at golf actually? Well, today we can give you the answer. Trump has played the sport of golf for his entire life, picking it up in his time at college, and he'd become significantly more invested in 1999 when he began as a real estate developer, acquiring and constructing golf courses. By the time he won the election in 2016, he owned 17 golf courses across the world, stretching across America, Scotland, and Dubai, many of which were used for both PGA and LPGA tour events. And to get a better idea of how much that means he plays, over the 1,461 days of his presidency, he played 261 rounds of golf, roughly once every 5.6 days. Not bad considering he's meant to be running an entire country at the same time. Imagine how much he plays when he isn't. So let's assume he's a little more than a weekend golfer, and someone who has been playing for over 60 years with access to every coach, golfing professional and piece of equipment available. But how good does that make him? On one side, you have Trump himself, claiming a handicap of 2.8 and boasting about numerous club championships. On the other, you've got critics accusing him of everything from exaggerating scores to outright cheating. If he's telling the truth, that means every single round he plays, he usually only shoots about 3 over par. The lower the handicap, the better the golfer. So a 2.8 would be incredibly impressive, especially given the fact that he's 78 years old. But then you hear the stories of him moving balls and taking extra shots when no one's looking, which if you know Trump, isn't something that would come as a surprise. Sports writer Rick Riley dismisses his claim of playing off 2.8 at length in his book, and even went as far to say, if Trump is a 2.8, Queen Elizabeth is a pole vaulter. So how close are his claims to the truth, really? We can break down his golf game into 3 key segments: his tournament play, his technique, and what golfing professionals that he has played with have to say about him. Starting with tournament play, these stories have something that Trump is extremely used to: controversy. According to the man himself, there's nothing he loves more than winning. And also according to him, he wins a lot. Trump has boasted about clinching many club championships over the years. He's particularly proud of his victories at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, and Trump International in Florida. In fact, he's gone as far to say that he's bagged around 20 club championships throughout his golfing career. That's a pretty impressive haul. But for starters, they're not exactly the same as winning professional tournaments. They're typically local events, often restricted to members of a particular golf club. But let's imagine that the competition is made up of top golfing professionals and give him the benefit of the doubt. In January 2023, Trump made headlines when he claimed to have won the Senior Club Championship at Trump International Golf Club. Sounds impressive. Well, it would be, but there was just one tiny problem. He didn't actually play in the tournament's first round. You'd think that to win the tournament, you'd need to play in it. But apparently that's only sometimes the case in Trump's world. Back in 2018, there was another incident at Trump International. He reportedly claimed that he won the club championship, but the story behind his victory was unconventional. According to reports, Trump didn't actually compete in the official event. Instead, he challenged the actual winner, a guy named Ted Virtue, to a match after the tournament was over. Trump won this informal match, and then voila, he declared himself the club champion. It's like showing up to a marathon, racing the winner for the last 100 meters, and then claiming that you won the whole thing. Rick Riley, who has been pretty vocal about Trump's golf game, has an interesting take on how some of these championships might have come about. He has a habit of declaring himself the champion shortly after opening a new golf course. He'd play the first round alone and then call it the first club championship. But here's the kicker: most of these claimed victories happen at Trump's own courses. It's like being the undefeated champion of your own backyard. When you own the course and set the rules, it's a lot easier to come out on top. In March of 2024, he claimed to have won 2 golf tournaments in 2 days at his Florida course, not only winning the Senior Club Championship, but also winning the overall club championship as well. A comment on one of his tweets puts it pretty well. He owns the course. He won before the tournament started. Once again, the book written by Rick Riley called Command and Cheat details the many times that Trump cheated in various friendly matches and tournaments, moving balls, calling his own penalties, and miscounting shots. If you want to know more, you can read it, but I think you get the picture. Now you've got a better idea about the history behind his impressive catalogue of wins. How about his technique? After 60 years of playing the sport, that should surely be pretty good. And off the tee, it is. But the same can't be said for his putting. Of course, he's 78. His mobility is incredibly limited, yet he has found a way to generate as much power as possible. He has a great grip, and after 60 years, he definitely knows how to hold the club. His pre-shot routine is also effective, loosening up with a continuous motion swing and release. His swing features a very flat shoulder turn and inside takeaway, which is definitely ideal for senior golfers to still try to get the maximum distance and control off the tee. His knee flex allows for a deeper hand position and increased swing distance, placing the club further behind his head, which is crucial for senior players trying to hit the ball further, and his downswing and impact are near perfect. A slight over-the-top motion due to a lack of mobility, proper hip movement and excellent lag results in a powerful and efficient strike, before finally stepping through the shot, which is the best practice followed by a lot of senior golfers to increase distance and reduce risk of injury. He typically drives the ball around 200 to 225 yards. That's pretty impressive for a player of his age. Luke Kerr-Dineen from Golf Magazine noted, he hits the ball a long way off the tee. To him, that's the sign of a good golfer. And it's definitely not pretty, but it's effective. But how about his short game? The only evidence we have of his chipping was in Bryson DeChambeau's YouTube video, which showcased a few chunks and a few shots short of the green. But generally, he tends to be pretty consistent with his iron play, but his putting is where things get interesting. It has been described as resembling someone getting electrocuted on the follow-through. It's not pretty, but apparently it can be effective. He's known to occasionally sink long putts, though experts suggest that he could two-putt most greens from longer distances. You can decide if you think this combination of techniques translates to a 2.8 handicap. But now to the final segment. Over the years, Trump has played with a lot of very powerful people. Celebrities, athletes, pro golfers, and politicians. In a 2017 survey, 89% of PGA Tour golfers said that they would say yes to playing around with him. But when they did, what did they have to say about his golf game? Tiger Woods, arguably the greatest golfer of all time, has played with Trump on numerous occasions and had some positive things to say. Woods remarked that Trump hits the ball hard and noticed his consistency off the tee. That's not nothing. If Tiger Woods says you can hit a golf ball, you can probably hit a golf ball. Jack Nicklaus, another golfing legend, had some positive things to say as well. He called Trump the best player among the presidents that he's played with. That's saying something, considering Nicklaus has probably played with quite a few commanders-in-chief over the years. Rory McIlroy played around with him and said that he enjoyed it, but later on vowed to never play with him again due to his remarks around the COVID pandemic. Not the first time Donald Trump has rubbed someone the wrong way. But what about the younger generation of golfers? Bryson DeChambeau recently played a two-man scramble with Trump. His verdict? He's actually a really good golfer. He highlighted Trump's ability to drive the ball straight and his solid iron game, even saying that he didn't expect the video they recorded to go as well as it did, alluding to the fact that he was way better than he thought he was. In the now viral video, even though the pair were playing off the red tees, Trump was not only able to sink a solo birdie, but also a solo eagle, and the two-shot 22 under over 18 holes. He even managed to have his ball land inside of Bryson's on the greens on multiple occasions. So now you have all the facts. What do you think? Does he play off 2.8, or is that a little bit of an exaggeration? He is definitely an above average golfer, and who knows, he might have been a lot better when he was younger and more flexible. Based on his overall performance, experts suggest that Trump could be around an 8 to 10 handicap, and even though it's not as low as he claimed, that's still incredibly good, especially at his age. But as is to be expected with Trump, nothing he says ever comes without a little bit of controversy.